to the bone. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone.
Happy times in Auckland tonight as the Tuatara tip off round 4 with an unbeaten 4-game streak. Tonight they face the Hawks, who head to the Big Smoke fresh from the southern swing. No mai haramai, hello and welcome. Sal's NBL action proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. Great to have you with us as we tip off round 4. Tuatara and the Hawks from Eventfinda. Justin Nelson and Brooke Rusco with you, and I am looking forward to this one.
Yeah, what a game we have for ourselves tonight. I've got itchy feet watching my old team go to work and kickstart the season so well this year, but man, we've got some buckets to be had tonight. We've got 6 of the top 20 scorers on the floor, and it's going to be excitement all game long.
Hawks 1-1 on that southern swing. They're 2-2 for the season. Tuatara 4-6. Let's have a look at the ladder, because right now it is a moving feast, except for that team without a digit in the loss column. How good are they going?
Oh, they're going so well, and that is going to fluctuate. There's a few things that we won't see at the end of the season. I can guarantee you that the Saints will not be at the bottom at the end of the season, but great start to the year for the Tuatara. Man, the Rams are going silently pretty well too.
Let's have a look at games coming up in round 4. It's a busy schedule as always tonight. Bulls and Nuggets on Friday night. Wow.
That's a game that we need to watch out for. Franklin need that bounce back game, and uncharacteristic game. We would have thought they had 56 points in their last game, but the 3 imports for Otago, and you match them up with Sammy Timmins, powerhouse.
Giants Rams, no love lost there. Looking forward to that. Giants were awesome last week at the Stockyard. Airs and Sharks have got the big game Saturday night live on Sky Sport and on Prime. Airs with some big ins coming in. They're going to strengthen right up, and the Sharks really dirty after that loss last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't seen the Taranaki Airs play before, Carlin Davison is worth the price of admission himself. He's a highlight package waiting to happen.
Sunday action, Saints and Rams, Jets and Nuggets. It's go, go, go. Sal's NBL round 4. Let's have a look at the Hawks starters tonight. Visitors are in the house. Rusbach, Hunt, Harris, Rakawa and Bailey. Jared Kenny back into the lineup. He'll come off the pine. Mick Downer. Well, they've got a busy schedule. Let's hear what he has to say heading into this one. Mick, busy schedule. You're back into it straight away and you're on the road again. How's the team?
Not too bad. I mean, the best thing to play is a game after you've lost a game. So we're a bit filthy after the second game down south last week. Credit to them, they kind of ran over the top of us at the end. But yeah, we couldn't wait to get into another game, so we're excited about tonight.
And JK comes in, really good addition.
Yep, over a decade of experience in this league and almost 2 decades of being a professional, and I hope he just makes the game a little bit easier for some of the guys with his smarts and just being able to distribute the ball and be a floor general. So really looking forward to getting to coach him.
You would have seen a bit of the Tuatara. They're in form at the moment. Twin Towers doing very, very well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they you go across pretty much any statistic right now and they're doing really well, whether it's the rebounding or the shooting of the ball. So battle of the paint's a big one. Got to protect the rim and obviously guard some of their shooters on the 3-point line, but the other end of the floor, we need to make them play D. So they only played the other night, so we've got to make sure that they're on their heels all night and playing catch up.
Best of luck.
All right, thanks.
Well, 36-year-old Jared Kenny into the lineup. There he is, loads of experience.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, the Hawks just got better today, just like that. A leader that they need to close out games, a sound head, and he's going to be huge for them tonight.
Let's have a look at the Tuatara starters. They played on Monday night in the capital, got the win. If you think they're heavy-legged, think again. Silas Schneider comes into the team, the import first game tonight. Dante Russo-Nance coming off the fine. He'll be fresh as well.
Oh, he missed the game, but I think in terms of having Dante come off the bench, I know he's only 17 years old, but this is a massive second year for him, and he can give you a bucket just like that, and having that sort of spark off the bench just helps the Tuatara get even stronger.
Man, they're looking good. Let's catch up with Aaron Young. Aaron, big win in the capital on Monday night, straight back into it 48 hours later. Good news is Russo-Nance and Silas Schneider both into the team.
Yeah, really excited to see what that combination looks like. When I put this team together, a big part of it was to have him kind of play off the ball and obviously use the ball. So excited about what that looks like tonight.
Johnson and Lowe in form, playing really, really well. It's going to be a big battle inside. Hiram Harris, another big rebounder as well. What are your thoughts about the Hawks?
Yeah, they're going to be tough. They got some of the best rebounders in the league. Hunt's always been a good rebounder. Hiram's always aggressive. CJ got a little taste of him last year and what he can do when he was kind of single-handedly playing against us here. So he knows the matchup and what it's going to take for us, to step up and own that matchup. So CJ's ready and we're all ready.
Big matchup with the guards, Daron out there, Jared Kenny coming back in. That's going to be a highlight tonight as well.
It's great to have JK back, obviously, and it's just an exciting matchup. It feels like it's been a while since we played at home, so there's going to be a great buzz in here, and we're ready.
Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.
Well, speaking of 36-year-olds, how about this guy, Chris Johnson, 21.8 points a game, fourth in the league, 15.3 rebounds a game, #1 in the league off the boards. He is just an absolute dynamite player.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all as well. There's a reason that he played so many games in the NBA. There's a reason that his whole life has been focused around basketball. He's good at what he does, and he's proven it in his 36th year. And I'll tell you what, he's the nicest guy going around as well.
Head-to-head, let's look at some of the key stats. Well, they can both score. They're both very good at the resine. That rebounding margin, a bit of a concern for the Hawks. There's going to be a battle in the paint, plus 12 going the way of the Tuatara. Johnson and Harris, big rebounders. They are the kings on the board.
Oh, it's going to be a huge battle between those two. And Hiram he gives you heart and hustle every single game. And that's one thing you can guarantee from him. For him, as an undersized 4, being generous here, maybe sitting at about 6'5", to still go out there and average 5 rebounds, amazing.
Officials tonight, Ryan Jones, Taylor Amundsen and Corey Hogg. We're just about set for a start. Round 4 in the Cells NBL, proudly presented by GJ Gardner-Holmes. The Hawks on the road yet again, 4th straight away game. They've got a run of 6 on the road. Tonight they take on the unbeaten Tuatara, and the visitors will get first possession. Snyder into the action straight away. He's running with Rakawa. Here's Hiram Harris. They turn it over. Rob Lowe, the 6'10" with the steal. Snyder, first shot in the Cells NBL, and he looked a little bit tentative, it must be said.
That's okay. You get your first one out of the way. You overthink it too. But here we go. He's got bounce. Oh, Hiram Harris.
Big block by Harris. So Schneider straight into the action. And he knows a little bit more about the New Zealand League right now. Here's Hiram Harris for 3. That would have been a big start for the Hawks. Rusbatch keeps it alive. Hunt through traffic. There's an early foul here. No, he'll be off to the resine, says Ryan Jones.
And tall timber back there too. And you'll see this all game long. But Rob Lowe and Chris Johnson, how they work together. Long closeouts from Chris Johnson makes it tough to shoot their 3. And Rob has been cleaning up a lot of those boards, but they work together so well at the back here as Jordan goes to the resine foul line.
24-year-old, 15.8 points a game so far this season, 8.5 rebounds. Probably the one area where Jordan Hunt just needs to clean up. Just 37.7% field goal percentage at the moment. So he'll be hoping to put a few more away tonight.
And you know he can get it done too, because he shoots around 90% from the free throw line. I know he just missed that one, but you know he has got that soft touch.
Hawks get the first score of the night. Wednesday night action in the Cells NBL, live as always on Sky Sport. Here's Silas Schneider looking for Johnson, tipped away by Hunt. So a little bit about Silas Schneider. He's from UC Davis, the Aggies. 1,440 points through his collegiate career, 271 assists, 130 games.
Wow.
Just arrived from Denmark, where he's been playing pro ball during the European season. Maybe an early assist here to Rob Lowe. Missed everything in the end.
He did, but he'll make a few, don't worry. I had a quick chat to Aaron Young before the game, the coach of the Tuatara, and he's very high on the new import point guard, so.
There's a little bit of silence, I think, so I think we were shocked that Rob Lowe didn't even bother the ring. Maybe on this occasion. Hands it off. Tucky Farrenson's been in terrific form. He goes up, and Chris Johnson finishes it off. First points of the night for the Tuatara.
Hey, and because we're friendly around here, we'll credit that as an assist.
Are you saying it was a shot? Is that what you're saying?
What I will say is that Tucky often sees the hoop.
You do know that your former teammates watching this back. Here's Rakawa for 3.
And good shot and good defense.
Just under 18 points a game. He hits 3 triples on average, so he started well tonight. Hawks out by 2 early. Schneider. Rakawa in front of him. Low, this time fires away. That's better. Can't complete. Rusbach comes up with it.
And good defense there. They're running a lot of screens through Daron at the moment, making him work on both ends of the court. He's doing a good job of getting over both of those.
Big drive to the basket by Jack Exeter. Another young player who's had a great start to the season. Turnover here against the Tuatara. Jack Exeter, 12 points a game at just under 56%. I think that's actually caught quite a few people around the league by surprise.
Absolutely, and credit to him as well. He is not shy. He doesn't force too much. He gets the job done, and McDowner is rewarding him with game time.
Here he is, firing away from
you.
deep. Jack Exeter. Couple of big baskets to start this one tonight. Good signs for the Hawks early, out by 7. Johnson now backing down on Jordan Hunt, turns around, and how sweet is that shot?
There's a few keys in this league. If you have a good import, normally helps you go a long way. Import point guard, sorry, normally helps you go a long way. And then you just need someone who can go and get you a bucket, and Chris Johnson can do that whenever.
He is that man. Speaking of buckets, Rusbach turns it over. Johnson handling the ball. McIntosh drives from the wing. Where's some contact? And here's Johnson on the GJ Gardner replay. Just such a sweet shot.
There's not too much Jordan Hunt can do about that.
McIntosh out of the game early. Dante Russo-Nance in there for Farronson. Speaking of sweet shots, Tucky Farronson, how's his form right now?
Oh, and there's a reason that he looks at the rim at the moment, because he's in such form. And it's huge for the Tuatara as well. He needs to stay aggressive, as Hiram does what Hiram does.
Strong work. You expect that from Hiram Harris. Tucky Farronson started the season at 16 points a game. Oh, just things have opened up here for Dante Russo-Nance. You can't give that young man, the 17-year-old, space like that.
No, he is going to be a professional scorer. Mark my words. He is going to be a professional scorer when he gets older. The game is so slow for him.
Just 17. Here's Harris. Hard to the basket, hands it off to Ethan Rusbach. Standing in the paint for too long, says Ryan Jones. Take us behind the scenes a little bit, Brooke, because you were teammates with Dante Russo-Nance. There's certainly high tabs on this young man. Here he is with possession. Tell us a little bit about his work ethic, training, things like that.
I'll tell you what, his parents have given him a foundation. He is one of the most humble young boys that I've ever met. He's grounded, he's level-headed. I saw him play before I actually started playing with the Huskies against high school kids. And I watched him dominate, but I thought to myself, there's a huge leap between high school kids and coming in and playing in the NBL. The pace that he played in high school, I didn't think that he could replicate. What I saw last year, he was leaps and bounds ahead of where he should be. His maturity on the court, he has so much time when he plays, and as he gets older, you watch the elite level players, one thing that they all have time. And that's one thing that has stood out with me is with Donto, is he has so much time when he plays, and I'm going to give all the credit to his parents.
I know he missed Monday night's game in Wellington, but prior to that, in the opening 3 games, Russo-Nance is going at just over 35 minutes a game. It's actually the second highest in the league.
He's got a lot of trust from his coach. Aaron Young, it's weird to say, is his high school coach. He just did geometry this morning. Now he's playing fully grown men, you know?
That's a very nice way to put it, Brooke. 11 apiece, midway through the first quarter. Here's some changes. Jared Kenny stepping onto the floor for the first time in season 22 in the Sal's NBL. Great to have the master back. Coming off another Australian NBL season with the Cairns Taipans. Here he is in action straight away.
And one thing I think he brings to this team, besides from his history, and he has been in this team for so long, is with all due respect, he brings a level head. to this team. When they're down in the fourth quarter, when things aren't going right, as Dante gets to the rim, when things aren't going right, he'll just calm everything down.
Russo Nance, just a lovely hesitation on the dribble, called on the foul here. He's just got all the talent in the world. Have a look at this, just hesitation, he backs it out, goes again on the baseline and finishes on the reverse. Got a timeout in this one. Tuatara leading by 2. And just both teams, it feels like, in the opening 5.5 minutes, Brooke, just testing each other out.
Well, I think you're going to expect that from the Tuatara. They welcome in a brand new import, a point guard as well, so he's leading the team. There's always going to be that, Ross. And to be honest, that could last this quarter, it could last this half, it could last a couple games. Just the boys learning how to play with each other, find that rhythm, and when you're coming in as the import point guard, there's so much to go through your head. How are you going to run this team? How am I going to, make my mark on this game as well? So you can expect that from the Tuatara. And then on the other side, they welcome back Jared Kenny, who's going to be a huge help. But I think Exeter's come through and had a great start to this first quarter.
We mentioned earlier for the Hawks, they're in the middle right now of a 6-game away from home, away from Pettigrew, a 6-game run of away games. Out of this one, they head into round 5, and they've got another double road away against the Rams and the Giants. So it doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't, and the Bay will be waiting for them to get back. And once they get into the Bay, a raucous crowd that they get down there, when they get a rhythm, when they get on a roll, the Bay supports this team like few others.
Well, that's the other thing. They might be in the middle of a 6-game road trip at the moment, but they're going to have some home games at some stage.
Oh.
And they're tough to beat there. Although the Bulls did get them in round 1.
They did.
Back underway here at Eventfinda on the shore. As the Hawks look to score out of that timeout. Here's Quinton Bailey, tall timber Rob Lowe in front of him. Harris now takes on Chris Johnson, who gets a hand in there. He thought it was clean, but the whistle says no.
And it looked clean from here, but that's great from Hiram too. You have to get into the body of the big defender, put the onus on the ref to make the call, and fouls on Chris Johnson this early in the game is massive, so good job from Hiram Harris. That's 2 for Chris.
Yeah, and that takes him out of the game, and I've got no doubt that would have been part of the game plan of the Hawks to attack the likes of Johnson and Lowe early in this game, force a little bit of pressure.
And one thing I can promise you, Hiram ain't going to slow down.
Here is Hiram Harris at the Resine, nails the first.
I'm so impressed with how far Hiram's come. And it's been over, he's played this game his entire life. His family comes from basketball, but watching him mature over the last 4 or 5 years. Talked about Dante and playing at a pace, and the game is a little bit slower for him. Watching Hiram play over these last few years, it's definitely slowed down for him as well. 25
years of age, Hiram Harris has recently re-signed with the Adelaide 36ers in the Australian NBL, starting to make a real footprint in that competition. And no doubt a big piece of the puzzle for the Taylor Hawks in season 22. 13 apiece. Just a bit of a lull here at the moment at Eventfinda as these two teams just work each other out. Here's Russo Nance to Farronson. Turns on the go off the wing straight away. Not afraid to go in and do the heavy lifting here. Rusbach with the rebound. What a season he's had so far. 22 points a game.
And that's a huge matchup right there. Tucky and Ethan going head to head.
Jared Kenny hands it off. Exeter again fires away, can't complete. A little bit of a tussle on the rebound, and that will be against Nick Barrow with the foul.
That's Nick Barrow doing Nick Barrow things right there. That's the type of thing that wakes Nick up in the morning. Just that, the little niggle.
Just saw Tommy Ferguson step into the game. Hiram Harris taking a break. The Hawks have actually got some young talent coming through their program as well. Good to see some of the local youngsters starting to make their mark in the Cells NBL. Napier Boys High School. Farronson hands off. And underneath, Nick Barrow with the foul.
And that makes Coach Aaron Young extremely happy. Got Tucky moving, Nick diving, get to the free throw line, ball's moving. You put the ball in Roblo's hands and you move around him, good things are going to happen.
This Coach Aaron Young. First one at the Resine looked a little bit wobbly, it must be said, from Barrow. What's he like as a...
He is the kindest man.
I meant at the free throw
walking
line.
planet Earth. Oh, he's all right there too.
Makes the second one, gives the home team the edge.
A quick shout out to him and his partner. They just announced that they're having their first baby, so congratulations.
Fantastic. Congratulations. There's Makawa. Kenny on the drive, tucks it under the arm. Hands it off to young Ferguson. Makawa back in the action. Jared Kenny. Picked up by Barrow. Here's Schneider. A couple of early touches. Ball back in hand here. Puts it out to the corner. Russo Nance. Looking for a basket. May get it back. He does with Farronson. Russo Nance up strong. Can't complete. There is a foul though against Ethan Rusbatch, who doesn't complain. He goes over and picks the young man up. Helps him back to his feet.
And that will drive McDonough nuts. Just those unforced turnovers. They've had a few of those to kickstart the season as well. Things will tidy up as the season goes along, but as a coach, I love McDonough, but he's got a few more grays in. I remember them when he was coaching me.
Rusbatch heads to the bench. Hasn't put up a shot in the game yet, Ethan.
I'm still going to call 15 and over. And that's shot attempts, that's not points. He'll get up 15 before the game's up.
15 shots?
15 shots. Mark my words.
I've just written that down. 15 shots for Ethan Rusbatch tonight. First 7 minutes and 1 second on the court. Hasn't put up one.
And I'm extremely comfortable with that too. I feel no stress in that. I'd be disappointed if he doesn't.
Well, just to let you know, on average, he puts up 16.5 shots a game.
Okay, I thought he would put up a little bit more than that. I thought he was going around 22, 23.
Playing 35 minutes. The Hawks skipper. Got a little bit of a delay here. So, just trying to work out what's going on here. Braden Iuli's about to come back in. Okay, basket was actually awarded by mistake, so it's going to be 2 shots at the line, and it might be Silas Schneider headed to the line. So his first trip to the Resine, the 2022 guard import, 1440 points through his collegiate career.
1440 points.
1,440.
Oh, he's going to score over here then. We call that a 40 ball.
Well, he's missed the second one from the Resine. Tuatara out by 2. Here's Hiram Harris. Rakawa.
And this is a fun matchup too. Both extremely exciting with the ball. There's Thero's sweet spot. Gets into the paint, finds some time. That mid-range jumper, you can't give him any space.
Well, we've seen that plenty of times over the years from the Dynamo guard. Here's Schneider now on the baseline drive. He was held up momentarily. Barrow draws the foul. Here's that last shot from Derone. He nails those baskets in his sleep.
Just a lack of communication there for the Tuatara as he came off their screen. Nick expected Dante to get over and stay with, and I think Dante thought they switched.
Well, with Chris Johnson sitting with a couple of early fouls, Nick Barrow has certainly made his presence felt.
That's one thing Nick will always do, make his presence felt. He screams like few other people in this league. You'll wake up with a sore body after training with him for a few days.
Nails the second from the Resine. Now we need to send out a special cheerio. We've got a very familiar face and voice missing on the sidelines here at Eventfinda tonight. Dennis Jones is laid up tonight. He's one of the biggest supporters of all time of the Cells NBL and an avid basketball fan. The refs are getting an easy night tonight.
Very true.
But we hope you're well, Dennis. We're thinking of you, and no doubt we'll see you back sideline very, very soon. Turnover. Both ways. Rakawa battles for it and gets it back for the Hawks. They go again. Jordan Hunt quickly on the floor, goes it alone, draws the foul, and he's off to the Resine. So plenty of action from the coloured stripe early in this game tonight. Here's the GJ Gardner replay. Nice attacking move by Jordan Hunt.
And defense just a 6s and 7s there. Turnover, trying to find your man. Skip pass, attack the rim.
He's got some nice moves for a 206 centimetre forward centre. Jordan Hunt, just 24 years of age. Of course, won the grand final MVP at the 2020 Showdown, played for the Nuggets. It's the second away here, brings it back to a point. Last 90 seconds of the first quarter, nothing in it. Russo Nance gets a little tap on the arm, and now he's off to the Resine. In fact, sorry, I'm going to take that back. It's an offensive foul pulled up off that. Nick Barrow with the illegal screen. He's a little bit none the wiser at the moment.
Yeah, he's looking bewildered over there. Nick does do a great job at setting screens. Very rarely does he move too much, so.
Well, I think everyone in the house thought that Russo Nance was off to the line then, but not to be the case. There's just some early foul trouble at the moment for the Tuatara. Something to keep an eye on. Only the first for Barrow, though. There's Harris pulled up on the dribble. Jordan Hunt now. Good defense, Barrow. Great handoff to Hiram Harris, who gets up. No call on that one. Looked like plenty of arm. Iuli. Now Farrenson fires away from the corner. Can't complete, and another whistle on the play. This time Russo Nance called for the foul. Have a look at Hiram Harris come in here. Looked like a bit of contact across the upper body. Jordan Hunt now back to the Resine, and it has been an opening quarter, Brooke, dominated by fouls.
Yeah, both teams staying aggressive as he hits the first.
As you said, one of the best converters from the Resine in the competition is Jordan Hunt.
Yeah, 15 fouls called already.
Happens every time. Just happens every single time. Here he is again. He's got it back, the big fella.
Short-armed it.
Corner ball. Rakawa testing out Silas Schneider. Kicks it back for Jordan Hunt. No. Battle underneath. It'll be against Derek Albertson on the rebound. And will walk the length of the floor. And Silas Schneider will go to the Resine back the other way.
We might not have enough players. We might be suiting up at the second half. It's 16 fouls already in the first quarter.
It's going to be a late night in the Cells NBL this evening. Wednesday night action. If you're on a curfew, every chance you've broken it.
And two things can happen here. If the refs are calling everything, one, it's on the offense to stay aggressive and get to the free throw line. Defensively, you've got to keep your hands out. Make sure you talk on D and do your best to keep this team off the free throw line.
Schneider splits it from the Resine. By the way, that's his first point in the Cells NBL. So welcome to the competition. Here he is again, and that is aggression to the basket. Rolls it in off the right. Silas Schneider.
Grown man move right there.
Gives the home team the lead. Dying seconds of the first quarter. Here's Hiram testing out Schneider. Loose ball. Good hands by Schneider. Lowe comes up with it. They've got time. 10 seconds to play in this opening quarter. Iuli uses the screen of Rob Lowe. Hands it off underneath. Good basket. Nick Barrow. Good minutes for him. And the Tuatara head into quarter time with the lead. Here's a replay. Nice little short corner jumper. Just what the home fans wanted headed into quarter time. Tuatara lead it early. Wednesday night basketball. Round 4 is underway in the Cells NBL. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Eventfinda. 1 quarter down, Wednesday night Cells NBL action. Tuatara leading this one 21-17. A first quarter dominated by the whistle, 15 fouls, 18 trips to the Resine. And that's been the tale of the tape early in this one. Here's Rob Lowe. He'll get called for an offensive there, and I actually reckon that's pretty much spot on as he turned back, accidentally just copped Jordan Hunt under the chin there. We might get another look at this in a moment. The reason why those 18 trips to the Resine is an interesting stat, because on average in the Cells NBL there's 34 trips in a game.
Ooh. Well, Resine's getting their money's worth.
Absolutely.
Great call, Resine.
Early going in the second quarter. There's Rakawa. 5 points in the first quarter.
Great save.
Can't put that one away off the glass. Schneider back the other way. Slick pass to Rob Lowe. He can't finish either.
But I like that offense. Reward the big man, running down the middle. Chris Johnson got the rebound, found the point guard, zip it down. You put your money on Rob Lowe to make most of this.
Hiram Harris draws the foul on Tucky Faddenson. 6 points. 6 points in the first quarter for Chris Johnson. 5 apiece, Jack Exeter and Daron Rakawa, the leading scorers in the game. And I know I've said it a couple of times, Brooke, but it just feels like a good old-fashioned arm wrestle right now.
It does, and the Hawks welcome back in Ethan Rusbatch, and we said this in the game that we watched with the Hawke's Bay Hawks and the Southland Sharks, that Ethan Rusbatch can open up a game in the matter of 3 or 4 minutes. So
still yet to put up a shot by the... Oh, there he goes, right on cue. That one comes up short. First shot attempt of the game for Ethan Rusbatch.
14 to go.
Or 15 and a half by his average. Here's CJ Chris Johnson. That's what the crowd's come to see tonight here in Auckland.
Fantastic job from Tucky, getting around the corner, making the right decision. Weak side wasn't there, found Chris, and Chris Johnson knows how to finish. Ethan
trying to get going, and that's exactly what it takes for Ethan Rusbatch. First points of the game for him. Here's Chris Johnson again going hard to the basket. Couldn't get the roll. Rusbatch back the other way. Man on a mission right now, and another basket for the Hawks, number 12. Johnson back the other way, if you don't mind. Swinging off the iron, CJ.
I swear he forgets he's 36.
He's not 36, is he?
He's got the fountain of youth as he gets that board as well. We call that seagulling in the streets, what he did, but it was worth it.
It's definitely worth it. Schneider can't complete, but starting to see a bit of the ball now, Silas Schneider.
And staying aggressive, and like I said at the start of the game, it's his first game. He's going to be a little bit rusty. But I like
Bailey, unable to hang on to it, cutting through. Kenny back into the game. Hiram Harris taking a break. Russo Nance back into the game. Everard Bartlett on the floor as well. So both teams ringing changes. It's just gone up a notch in the last minute, hasn't it?
Oh, it has. And I just watched Jared Kenny and Everard Bartlett walk on to the floor at the same time. And I would love to know how many seasons, because you can now tick another one in the box, how many seasons those two have played together in this league. It has to be 12 plus.
Yeah, absolutely. Schneider open for the three.
Interesting shot. It's got a little hick in the shot.
I like the fact that Rusbach is seeing a bit more of the ball now. Good points there from Rakawa. Up to 8 in the game. Schneider. Jordan Hunt in front of him, backs it out. Johnson dumps it in. Low, finishes off. Great high-low action.
I'm telling you, those two together, if they can keep Chris Johnson in this league, if they're not the favourites, they're there or thereabouts.
Ooh. Bartlett for three.
And that's what he does. You got to put a hand up on that. They got lucky, and Coach Aaron Young wouldn't be happy with that. Everard's been a shooter in this league for, I don't want to say how many years. I'm not sure.
It's a lot. 36 years of age. Johnson can't handle that one. Rusbach has really come out with a steely determination in this second quarter. Timeout called by the home team. They lead it by 3. There's that finish by Rob Lowe. I thought you were going to say unstoppable, the Tuatara this season, if they can keep that team. You came within a whisker.
Well, this is where I'm trying to be as impartial as I can be, you know? I left my uniform in the locker room last year. And
let it fly.
I did say good luck to McDonough at the start of this game, and he said, you don't believe that.
Some of the fans in the house tonight.
Hey, and if you're in Auckland, this Tuatara team is no joke. If you get the chance to come down and watch these boys, Chris Johnson, Rob Lowe, Donto Russo Nance isn't, in my opinion, going to be around for too long. If you get the chance to come down here and watch these boys play, you're going to get your money's worth.
Well, not if you get a chance. Make sure
right,
you come down and see them.
That's a better way to frame it.
Get off your backside, get down to Eventfinda, and come and see this team.
Tell them, Justin.
Well, they are the hottest team in the competition right now, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're going a good way about it again today. I don't know how happy Aaron would be, you know, a quarter and a half into this game with 27 points, but one thing that you can take away is that this Hawke's Bay team knows how to get buckets, and they're sitting at 24 points right now as well. So defensively, they must be doing something right.
What do you think about Ethan Rusbach's start to this second quarter?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think he'd be hard done by, or he would feel hard done by, because that first quarter, there were so many fouls called. And so he's come out and done the right thing, put the pressure back on the refs, make them make those calls. And now it looks like the whistle's gone back into their pocket, but he just has to keep staying aggressive. He's not just living and dying by their three, getting to the rim, and he finished with his left twice.
Back underway. Rakawa here, Schneider in front of him. Bailey with the screen. Derone continues to search. Gets to that elbow, almost confused himself in the end, bobbled it. There's a turnover here on a cross court. Jared Kenny not happy with the call.
And Silas Schneider needs to go and just grab that one.
Great to see the Hawks, number 6, back on the floor for 22. Rob Lowe wants it over Bartlett. Now goes to work, hands it off. Schneider comes up short on the little floater, called into defense straight away as the Hawks come back Off to the races. Rakawa tipped out. That'll count. Points are good, according to Ryan Jones. Your thoughts on that, Brooke?
I don't know about that one. Ooh. I thought that was on the rim, and
certainly Chris Johnson thought it was on the rim as well. And he's got a fairly good view of the rim. He's closer to it than anyone else in the stadium.
hopefully we get a chance to see that one again.
Yeah, I think we'll have a look at it again in a moment. It'll be a what's your call Brooke Rusco moment. Step back. Dante Russo-Nance.
He's fearless, this boy.
How was that for a finish?
We've got a bet going on this year, Dante and myself. I say that he can't get a half-court dunk.
Ooh.
We've got $100 on the line.
Ooh. Take note of that. Here's Rusbach, back of the iron. Tuatara by 4. Johnson, always dangerous with the ball. Looks for his Twin Tower teammate in low. Hawks now on the charge. Quentin Bailey off the glass for 2. First points of the game for Quentin Bailey.
And that's where Hawke's Bay is, man, they're dangerous, and that's where they're at their best. Getting out in transition, finding those easy buckets. Daron, Hiram Harris, Ethan is doing a great job of boxing up tonight as well.
CJ with a little bit of space there on the 3. Speaking of threes, Rakawa goes to the floor. Was there a touch on the ball? Certainly Daron thought there was a hand knocking the ball out of play. It's not often you'd see Daron from the corner miss by that far, surely.
I was just thinking that. He's pleading his case right now here to the ref as well.
He probably does have a case. I can't remember ever seeing Daron not only miss the backboard, the ball went behind the backboard.
The backboard too.
He's probably got a case to plead, you would think. Here's Johnson searching, now goes over the top. Foul is called. Hiram Harris owns up to that one straight away. And CJ will go to the line for 3 here. Timeout before that though. Mick Downer wants a word, and I think he may want a word with the officials as well. 4:21 left to play in the first half here. Round 4 Sal's NBL action. Proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. And while we've got a break, I just wonder if we can get that replay back on that shot that counted before. See if we can bring that back up for you.
My gut tells me it was goaltending. And refs make mistakes as well. One thing that I would love though, if refs make mistakes, is to say, you know what? I got that wrong. Ooh. Let's keep it moving. It's the back and forth that you get with the refs, and I'm saying this with a smile on my face as I'm sitting on this side now.
Hey, round 4 action. I just want to get your thoughts on this. Friday night, 7:30 at the Stockyard. Bulls and Nuggets.
Yes, it's an exciting one.
Bulls coming off, they're smarting off a loss.
In an uncharacteristic loss. I don't think we'll ever see them score 56 points again. But I really like...
Yeah, Nuggets. They look good, don't they?
Man, the 3 imports that they get. And we covered one of their games earlier this year. One thing that we did say was they may not have a great offensive game, but every single game, defensively, they have a team right there that can slog it out with the best of them. So I think as this season goes on, they find their chemistry, they sink into their roles. Todd Withers had a massive game last time out against the Bay Hawks.
Had 30 in that game.
Yeah, I think they're going to go from strength to strength and be a tough team for some of these guys to match up with.
Back underway. Johnson at the line for 3 here. Puts the first away. I reckon the other team to keep an eye on in round 4 just had a double on the road against the Jets and the Airs. That was the Rams. They're a double on the road again against the Giants and the Saints. Those games, Saturday 5:30, Sunday 3, 2 games within 24 hours. Tough.
Oh, especially some of those older bodies. Father Time is undefeated. You don't get that right recovery.
CJ doing the job for the Tuatara, converting. They're out by 5. Here's Rusbach. been on fire this season.
Yes.
Kenny. Russo Nance in front of him. And I don't really feel good about saying this, but these two guys battling right now, Jared Kenny and Dante Russo Nance. Kenny is more than twice his age. Did you laugh then? Barronson for three. Was that just a, was that a cheeky giggle?
It made me feel older.
Here they are again in action. Hiram Harris does well to get to the basket. Bailey misses a gimme in the end. Harris is wide open here. He'll fire away. And the shots aren't dropping for the Hawks right now.
And where you can get complacent if you're the Tuatara is you have Rob Lowe and Chris Johnson back there. You take it for granted that they're going to clean up every single rebound. If you don't box out, especially a team like the Hawks, you're going to punish you.
CJ is just deadly from that short corner on the turnaround.
And he told me once his favourite player to play with, and also the hardest player he ever had to mark, was Kevin Garnett. Now I'm not saying he's Kevin Garnett.
Who?
Chris Johnson.
Who's Kevin Garnett?
I'm
exactly.
Not, you're
wow.
Right. But I'm saying he does some things that replicate what Kevin Garnett did. The way he shoots it, the height that he gets it to.
71 NBA games, 4 different NBA teams, Chris Johnson. And just when you have conversations like that and you talk about guarding those sorts of players, it's incredible, isn't it?
Oh, he said, there's a few names that really stood out. Kevin Garnett was one. The other one that he said was Brandon Roy, who was amazing for Portland for years and years and years. And he played with Brandon Roy in his prime. But the way he has these conversations with you is so blasé. It's just, it's duck off a water's back to him.
Duck off a water's back?
No, water off a duck's back.
I like that. Let's hope that one gets cut up. Duck off a water's back. Welcome to the Brooke Rusco show on Sky Sport tonight. Here's Hiram Harris. He's just missed his last couple.
It didn't feel smooth as it came out either.
While all of that was taking place, while the duck was rolling off the water's back, Tucky Barronson has left the game with 3 personal fouls.
And this is a name we haven't said all night, but Chris McIntosh, I'm so proud of what he has done this year.
16 points in the capital Monday night.
And that was probably the best game that he's ever had, but well deserved. The reason I'm proud and I'm excited for him to have a year like he is having this year is because he has sat on the bench on cue.
Here he is, Chris McIntosh. That's what he does, Brooke.
Absolutely. He's sat on the bench for 3 or 4 years now, and he never complained.
You said to me in the pre-game, here's Hiram Harris drawing the foul. You said to me in the pre-game that if there's one player that you absolutely would go to for a 3-point shot to win the game for the Tuatara, it's this man in the corner right here, Chris McIntosh.
Without a doubt. And everybody on that team, I would imagine, says the exact same thing, is that he's fearless. He really is. He just hasn't had the opportunity or the chance to show everybody what he is capable of doing. But if you get him rolling, he allows the Chris Johnsons, the Dante Russo Nances, Rob Lowe to an extent as well. He allows them to have space because you have to stay at home on a shooter like Chris. And if defensively he's doing his job, he makes open shots. There's nothing else that Coach Aaron Young can ask of him. And I appreciate his work ethic and his team morale over the last couple of years, just to ride the pine, get a few blisters along the way. But this year he's making the most of his time.
Hiram Harris will head to the coloured stripe. He's 1 of 5 from the field tonight, 2 of 2 from the line. He's another one that just in the last few minutes is really digging deep and trying to get his team going. That one's a little bit too deep. Jared Kenny, Everard Bartlett, the 36-year-old sitting on the pine there. Jared Kenny, by the way, this is season number 19.
19.
I
think it might have started right here for him. He is a product of the North Shore. I wouldn't be surprised if it all started with the Harbour Heat back in the day.
I just want to scan through. Russo Nance, 17. Tom Beattie, 17. Braden Iuli, 18. Charlie Dalton, 17. They're all on the opposition team tonight.
And you know, one thing you have to just give credit to Aaron Young, because he is willing to play these younger guys.
I was talking more about JK in season number 19.
That too.
He made his debut before those guys even came into the world.
Thought. No, I hear you with that
Well,
as
they may
well.
have been thought of. Here's Rusbatch. The Hawks just searching for something at the moment. Maybe this time Hiram Harris, yes, reverse layup is a nice one.
Great take. Tall timber back there, and Hiram did a good job of attacking the hip and finishing on the other side, using the
Turnover,
lazy
that's not a
pass.
good pass, and Rusbatch will make the young man pay. And all of a sudden they bring it back to 5 with a couple of good baskets. Here is
crowd up a
Russo
little
Nance. Low, McIntosh goes underneath Exeter, can't finish. Lowe certainly tried to keep it alive, and he did in the end. Here's Russo Nance. We're going to get a stop. We're going to mop the floor here. After that big slide from the 6'10" Rob Lowe. 40 seconds to play in the half. Here's that turnover on the pass, and Ethan Rusbatch, no mistake. Had a quite first quarter, up to 6 points now in the game. He's made 14 triples so far this season, Rusbatch. Good for the 5th best in the competition. Timeout now called as they'll fix the floor up. Rusbatch going at 21.8 points a game, 7 rebounds, 3.5 triples.
And one thing that no one really sees about Ethan, but he puts the time in. He works the house down. He will wake up at 6 o'clock, he'll go get his shooting in, he'll go and stretch after that, he'll go and get his weights done, he'll go to the pool after that. He doesn't put anything bad in his body, and then he runs it back every single night. So Ethan, the product that you're seeing on the court this year is a byproduct of the hard work that he has put in while no one is watching. And you know, those are the stories you love to hear and you love to see.
I'll tell you what the Hawks have done well so far tonight. Chris Johnson's got 15 in the game. He's firing, right? He's doing what he does. Rob Lowe's only got 2 in the game at the moment. Importantly, the points inside the paint, which for the Hawks, for the Tuatara, they're the best in the competition, points in the paint.
Yep.
They've only had 14 tonight.
Which is uncharacteristic, but then also if you go and look at the 3-point percentage, they're shooting at 27% from the 3, so they're getting a fair few threes up, 3 of 11 at the moment, and down the other side it's not much better for the Bay Hawks. They're shooting 3 of 14 at 21%, so
5-point margin as we're about to get back underway. The Hawks have scored the last 2 baskets of the game, so just as the home team started to make a run, got out to a 9-point lead, it's back to 5 now. Back underway. Schneider for 3. Can't complete, didn't hit the ring. No, say the officials. Aaron Young certainly thought that it did.
and about 6 seconds went off the clock there as well.
So the officials just having a chat here. Aaron Young, livid at the moment. It's going to be a Hawks ball. Not sure that this is going to change. Yep, it won't change. So that's the call. And the Hawks will get possession and get a chance to have a look at the last shot of the quarter. Last shot of the half, in fact. Trail it by 5.
Chucking some seconds back on here.
Well, they have done, in fact, you're right. They've taken it back to 26.8, so it won't be the last shot of the quarter. Hawks prepared just to slow it down here and use as much time as possible. Here's Rakawa, been very active in the first half of this one, under a bit of pressure. Rusbatch now, 2 on the shot clock, gets it up, can't put it in, and that'll do it. Time has expired. So half-time in this one. It's been an intriguing battle so far. The home team out by 5. great battle tonight, Wednesday night action in the Salms NBL. Let's head down to Brooke Rusco. He's got Chris Johnson with him.
All right, 15 points for you in this first half on 7 shots. How are you getting that done?
Just getting good looks for my teammates and just running the right plays and just trying to execute, man.
You managed to keep a talented Hawke's Bay team to 33 points in the first half. How do you maintain that in the second?
Just staying with the game plan, and Aaron had us really prepared for this game and prepared just all week, man. So it's just staying the course, man, and things is working out, man.
Rolling. All right, good luck in the second.
And congratulations to my brother right here. Appreciate you, man.
Ethan Rusbach, captain of the Bay Hawks. Now 33 points for you is extremely low scoring half for you guys. How do you get that going in the second?
Just stick with our guns. We know what we can do. Obviously we haven't been hitting to the rate that we like to, but we don't shy away from those. I'm gonna keep shooting, they're gonna keep shooting. We've got to keep trying to do a job on those two bigs down in this end, so if we keep doing what we're doing, I think the results should play out at the end.
And you guys welcome back in Jared Kenny today. How's it having him back in the squad?
We've got to work him into it. He's a bit older these days, so long warm-ups, careful on the bus rides and stuff like that, give him all the space he needs. He's a bit precious, that puddle.
Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Justin.
Good on you, Brooke. Well done, Ethan Rusbach. So half-time here, Auckland Tuatara, the home team. 4 straight wins to start the season. They lead this one by 5. We'll pick it all apart with the stats here on Sky Sport right after this. So halftime here at the Eventfinda Arena here on the shore, and it's the Tuatara leading 38-33. Round 4 Sal's NBL action, proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. Justin Nelson, Brooke Rusco with you. Brooke, there's the stats at the moment. What are your thoughts?
Chris Johnson's being Chris Johnson at the moment. It's looking easy to him. It's looking effortlessly. I like what Darone's doing as well, getting into the mid-range. He hit a 3. He stayed aggressive in transition, but that's where Hawke's Bay really need to thrive in the second half. That's what they do best. Get out in transition and find some easy baskets. They've only got 4 at the moment.
Rebounds, CJ's been busy as well. Ethan Rusbatch is really trying to get his team going.
He's doing a great job of boxing out too. I see he's got 8 boards here, but he's doing a great job of boxing out.
Tucky Farrenson has continued his good form, doing a little bit of everything tonight. The assist game for the Tuatara has been very active this evening. Let's keep rolling through the stats to the half. Rob Lowe doing Rob Lowe things.
Exactly. It was the 2 assists, which is the worry for the Hawks.
And both teams just trying to look after the ball a little bit at the moment. A few turnovers in the first half. Some active hands, as you can see. Just want to point out Ethan Rusbatch, get back to him for the moment. And just the fact that he really is trying to lift his team, the skipper. 6 points, 8 rebounds, 5 turnovers, but 3 steals. So there's just a little bit of everything in there.
He's staying aggressive. Is one thing. Well, he came out and he kind of let the game come to him in that first quarter. We didn't say his name too much, but he came and started that second quarter the way we know Ethan knows how to play, and he was aggressive. He got to the rim and he was trying to make the refs make the calls, but he put the whistle in the pocket a little bit more in that second quarter.
Players are signing basketballs at half time. Second half not too far away on Sky Sport tonight. Stick with us. Tuatara, can they remain unbeaten in season 2022, or the Hawks head back to the Bay with a big win? We'll see you on the other side of the break. Welcome back to Eventfinda half-time round 4 action in the NZNBL. Wednesday night action. Great to have you with us on Sky Sport. Tuatara leading this one by 5. It's been a big battle tonight, Brooke Rusco, and I just don't know which way this one's going to go.
This is from an unbiased place. I want everyone to know that, but I just think the way Tuatara's are shooting at the moment, I think if you can get the Tuatara going the right way,
There we go. Come on,
blow one out.
Come on.
I think they could get this one by 15. But also Ethan on the other side can hold a game and break a game open just like that too. But Chris Johnson is doing Chris Johnson things. He's got 15 points on 7 shots, but Silas Schneider, 1 of 7 at the moment. Tucky Farronson, you know, you get a couple of those boys rolling and doing what we expect.
I just want to let you know, I've never heard Phil Jones tip against the Giants. I've never heard Megan Compain tip against the Saints. You're allowed to go with the Tuatara. It's okay.
They're doing that.
It's okay.
Good to know.
Alrighty-o, second half underway. And I'll tell you what, just some side news. Jack Salt in the house tonight. Great to see Jack.
He is a huge body that I wish, they wish they had out there.
Speaking of big bodies, Hiram Harris gets us underway to start the second half, and just like that, it's back to 3 points.
And a nice big strong take there from Hiram.
Called into action here against Johnson. Farronson underneath, up and in.
I love that matchup. Two very similar players, great shooters, similar, as Ethan the text there, they're similar height, both extremely athletic.
Well, it was a Tuatara ball for about 1.3 seconds then on the inbound, but it's been turned over. Well, the decision has been reversed. Will go the way of the Hawks. Here's Rakawa trying to find some space around Chris Johnson. Is Hiram Harris. He's come out with a pep in his step.
Yes.
Johnson fires from range.
And Ethan gets his 9th rebound already.
Here's Hiram again. Rakawa for 3, and look out. Whatever's been said at half-time between the Hawks, they have certainly come out with some renewed determination. They tie it up at 40 apiece.
And it's the Hiram Harris show. Got to the bucket twice, 3rd time, got out in transition after some good defense, made the defense collapse, found the open shooter.
Great battle there between Schneider and Rakawa.
And here he goes again.
Harris on the charge, has the young Russo Nance in front of him, loses a handle but gives it to Hunt. Jordan Hunt, right on time, right place. Nails another big basket for the Hawks to start this third.
And with 2 minutes in, Hiram's got 4 points, 2 assists. I think he's got 2 rebounds. That's how you start the third quarter.
Johnson, Hiram Harris meets him, comes away with it for the Hawks. Rusbatch, can he get in on the act? No, he can't. Jordan Hunt now off the glass, and that's going to call a stop to this game by Tuatara coach Aaron Young. He's seen enough in the opening 2 and a bit minutes. What a great start to this second half by the Hawke's Bay Hawks.
Whatever McDonough said to Hiram Harris at halftime, he needs to say that every halftime. For every game and every time out, Hiram Harris come out and play like that. He plays like that, this team is hard to beat.
There's that big finish from Jordan Hunt, and what would Aaron Young be saying right here? You've heard plenty of these talks.
Yeah, I've sat on the wrong side of a few of those. Just a good time to calm the troops down. You know, we're 2.5 minutes into this second quarter. Just take the air out of the ball for the Hawks a little bit. Talk about Hiram Harris, how we're going to slow him down. We're getting some forced shots down this end. How do we get an easy shot? Make sure they don't get out in trans. And they always say a good defense goes a long way to help out you win this game. But I always think a good offense actually helps you set up your defense. So a lot of times coaches say defense back to offense. Maybe I'm offensive minded, I've got this the wrong way around, but if you can get a good offense, if you can set up your offense, you get a good shot, you score, it allows your defense to set up. If you take a good shot you miss, most of the time your team is in the right spot. It's turnovers, late shot clock shots. allow the other team to get out and run, you see things like this. And maybe I'm offensive-minded one more time, but I always just thought if you could get a better offense going, it does help your defense.
I'm still stuck off a water stack, so I'm still in that space. 11-2 start to this third quarter by the Hawks.
Yeah, great start. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Now it's maintaining after that timeout.
Well, let's see how the Tuatara respond. Here's Russo. Nance loses it. Harris, what a big quarter so far from Hiram Harris. Man possessed right now. And some miscommunication there between Schneider and Johnson. Jordan Hunt got a hand on it. So the home team will come up with it. There's that loose pass by Russo Nansen. Hiram Harris.
Just a force on
Farronson surrounded by white singlets. Somehow gets it back. Rob Lowe will fire from range. He needs to get going. Can't complete. And here they come again. The Hawks are taking flight, Brook.
And this is where they're dangerous. Out in trans.
Rakawa for three.
And another assist for Hiram. The connection that those two have, it's in the eyes.
5 down at the half, 9 up. Just over 3 minutes into the third quarter. What a blitz by the Hawks. Can Johnson respond? No, he can't. And the team in white come again. Hunt finds Harris. Farronson in front of him. Hiram Harris swings back, draws the foul. And he'll go and have a look at a couple from the line. So, gee, they've come out with some motivation, haven't they?
How good does he look to start this third quarter?
13 points in the game now, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. That is Hiram Harris.
And he's also just put Tucky to the bench. That's Tucky Farronson's fourth foul.
Yeah. There's a bit to be said for Daron Rakawa's game as well, because he really did a lot to keep them in it in the first half. He's up to 16 in the game. At the Razine, a split there for Harris. The home team gets it back. They need to find a response themselves now. McIntosh. Low. Hasn't been his night. Johnson will fire away from deep. Doesn't get the shooter's roll. McIntosh back with it. Stepping around. Schneider is met with the block. Big work by Hiram Harris again, racking up the stats. McIntosh can't complete. Iuli keeps it alive. So they're going to get a third look at it. Schneider. That's well off. And things not rolling the way of the Tuatara right now. Brooke Rusco.
Hey, this is basketball too. It's about finding the flow, finding the runs. Teams are going to go on runs. It's, can you weather that storm?
Well, there's not much flow at the moment. The tap is turned off. 17-2 run to start the third. I think we're sitting here in a little bit of disbelief.
Absolutely. The pace that they've come out at. Defensively, they're doing a great job. Hiram's come out a different Hiram Harrison. I say he doesn't force anything in the first half. He, allowed the game to come to him. But he's also stepped it up and
he's the one. I mean, he's given them
up
the spark, hasn't he?
Absolutely. And when he does that insert, it allows Daron to find a little bit more space. It allows Ethan to find a little bit more space. As the Tuatara try something different here, I think it looked like a zone, but
15-point turnaround in just over 4 minutes. Here's Harris again. Hiram gets upstairs. Hiram Harris is a man possessed right now. He is on another level. They're off again.
And it's exciting to watch.
He wants it back. Hiram Harris. Wow. He has turned this game on its head.
He absolutely has. He hasn't done much wrong. I think that was the right call from the ref, but when Hiram gets aggressive, you got to watch out.
Oh, they've taken that off him. Oh, I've just fallen off my chair. I didn't even see it. I've fallen off my chair.
They called the charge.
No.
They did. He took that one in the chest.
Oh,
He was stationary.
Spoiled the party.
He still has the dunk though. Our highlight reel's still there.
I had the party hat and streamers going. Sorry, Hiram.
As Hawke's Base jumped into a zone here.
12-point margin. Schneider up for Johnson. Johnson, they need this.
Schneider gave up a gimme there. Had one on the bucket.
Here's the highlight reel. He just wants to keep going. This time, CJ blocks it. I'm happy just to clear out. Rob Lowe. Schneider, they need to nail this three. Yes, they do. Silas Schneider.
Sometimes you just need to see one go through too. Sometimes as a player, even as a team, you see that one go through and you just have to get that rhythm back.
Brings it back to 9. Rakawa will fire away. He can't finish. Johnson with the big mitts. Schneider spinning to the basket on Exeter. No contact, no basket. Schneider, cheeky little hand. Kenny didn't see it coming.
Yeah, it's a little bit sloppy here at the moment.
Maybe a momentum swing back to the home team. Going in hard, Johnson turns it over. Little hand there from Exeter. Rusbatch into the game, and Hiram Harris taking a break.
Well deserved too.
Got to applaud this young man, the 25-year-old.
Down 5 at the quarter, up 11 now. Hiram and Jerome both taking a rest, but they're a huge part of that.
16 in the game now for Hiram Harris, including that thunderous dunk. You reckon that'll make the round 4 highlight reel?
If it doesn't, imagine the plays we're going to see.
Well, that's one way to look at it. Foul off the inbound. Well, let's talk about the Tuatara here. I mean, they're a bit shell-shocked.
They are. I thought the last play or the last position they got to, having Chris Johnson in the post, found the mismatch. They trapped it and they doubled, but I think you go back to him. He's your bucket getter. He's your bread and butter.
Pass is off by Schneider. He had the right idea, but missed the big man by plenty. Exeter back the other way. It's a 21-5 run.
It's just seeming a bit shell-shocked at the moment.
Russo Nance draws the foul on Jared Kenny. That's his 3rd foul.
And he gets to the line here. That's a tough one though. If he doesn't get to the line, you attack the rim and you like to see him being aggressive, but also I thought Jared did a pretty good job there and Dante was attacking 1-on-3.
Hawks out by 10. A real test of the top of the table Tuatara here. 4 and zip coming in. Great win in the capital on Monday night. They got the Bulls next up. Massive northern battle. Battle of the North coming up in round 5. Rusbatch loses a handle on it. We've seen a couple of slippages tonight. Schneider attacking and gets the roll over Rusbatch. Timeout called by the Hawks. They'll have a chat. Lead at 7 as the home team trying to get themselves back into it. Brooke Rusco.
I'll tell you a name that we haven't seen much tonight, and he's number 1 in the MVP rankings is Rob Lowe. You know, they got such a dynamic duo with Rob and Chris, and Rob is such a good leader. So sometimes you won't say his name a lot and he's still contributing in the game with rebounds or direction, helping Chris where to be, helping the point guard where to be. But you know, tonight's game, especially when you're leading the league as the MVP early in the season,
Well, I'll give you a rundown on Rob Lowe's night. He averages 20.5 points a game. He has 2 in the game so far. He averages nearly 12.5 rebounds. He has 4 rebounds in the game. He's a 54% three-point shooter. He's 0 of 3 from the arc tonight.
It just hasn't looked like himself, but that's what I'm saying. At the same time, in the same breath, Rob Lowe, you're not always going to see his input on the stat sheet. I mean, his numbers right now to kickstart the season, he's been brilliant. I think he's got a point to prove with, you know, he set a lot for the Breakers.
There he is.
Big Rob Lowe.
Does have 3 steals and 2 blocks in the game. And at a 7-point margin, this is actually tailor-made for somebody like Rob Lowe. Come out, hit a couple of shots, all of a sudden they get the ascendancy back. I mean, the Hawks have thrown everything at them in this third, and they've been really good. They've turned it over on this occasion. There's been a few turnovers in the last few minutes, and there's CJ coming up for 2. 17 in the game for Chris Johnson. It's back to 5.
And it's those unforced turnovers that we were talking about in that first quarter. Just a few too many once again. It's just getting sloppy in this middle patch.
Bartlett for 3. So Nance getting up high. You've gone from a grumpy frown about 60 seconds ago.
I'm telling you, I'm impartial. I'm as impartial as they come.
Here's McIntosh.
And I love what Hiram's doing as he comes back onto the court here, but I've been extremely impressed with him.
Here we go. Here we go. Rob Lowe with the triple.
And he's just going to, he needs to come out and do what Hiram Harris did. Make a few shots. He'll find you as well. He's a great passer. Influence the defense.
Little gimme underneath for Quinton Bailey with the response. Lead is at 4.
Jared Kenny just looks to be limping a bit. Asks for a sub there as Daron Rokawa comes off the bench.
Just look for this to go to Rob Lowe again. Let's see what he does. Russo Nance in traffic. Johnson, Lowe. Now, Rob Lowe was just grabbed underneath the basket there. That'll be against Everard Bartlett. So you can see the message from Aaron Young is, hey, we've got to get Rob going here.
Yeah, absolutely. And smart foul from Everard there as well. Mismatch. Get the foul done early and don't allow Rob that chance to go to work and see the ball go through again.
Tuatara in attack. Johnson, Bailey in front of him. Johnson pulls up. Can't complete. And now the Hawks looking to up the tempo once again. Here's Harris. He's been a safe pair of hands in this third quarter. He attacks Rob Lowe to the basket. Can't get the roll. Johnson, the #1 rebounder in the league. McIntosh with some space. He can't finish. Russo Nance battling for it. Rusbach.
Look for a quick 2-for-1 here.
Got a couple to beat. Flicked it out over the back. Late call on the foul. It's going to go against Chris McIntosh. Late in the third quarter.
I would like to see that one again. Thought they did a good job of staying in front.
23-14 quarter now to the Hawks. Came out with all guns firing.
And did what we spoke about in that halftime break. Needed to get back out in transition. They're scoring, so it allowed their defense to set up. And likes of Hiram, Jordan Hunt at the back there. Ethan's doing a good job as well, but just staying aggressive down on defense, getting out in transition and running in. Give the ball to Hiram in trans. He's going to make the right choice.
There's Jack Salt. We spoke earlier about seeing Jack in the house tonight. Great to see him. We know he's out ill at the moment, and he's going to be out for some time. Not sure whether we'll see him in a Hawks uniform this season, but terrific to see him.
Oh, it's good to see him back in the country, and he's a big body. And imagine if they had him out there.
Absolutely.
That'd be a battle tonight. Rob Lowe versus Jack Salt.
Sells NBL action. on Sky Sport. Every game live in season 2022. Ethan Rusbatch comes up short. And don't forget the Ta'ihi Basketball Aotearoa. The women will be in action from June 29.
How good is that?
As Schneider looks for CJ. Those passes just haven't hit the mark tonight. Foul. Stumbling down the court.
CJ was always going to foul on that one.
Looked like a giraffe knocking over a gazelle.
CJ gets a look in his eye sometimes. But in all fairness to him, I think Hawke's Bay got away with a quick one down the other end.
I don't know if that analogy is more about CJ being the giraffe or Ethan
Who's
being
who?
the gazelle.
We've had some good ones tonight.
4-point margin. Just the 13 seconds to play. There's Aaron Young. What will he be thinking right now with a big last quarter coming up?
A mixed bag. I think it was so promising to kickstart that third quarter and the way that they've come out. The Hawks kind of blew it out to, I think it was 10 points at one point, and the Tuatara have managed to get it back down to 4. So he won't be happy with how they started this third quarter, but should have some promise there with the way they've closed it.
I feel like the Moffats tonight have probably gone close to playing the most minutes in this game.
They've been busy.
They've been unbelievably busy. I don't know if there's some condensation in here tonight or whether it's just players sliding across the boards, but we've had a number of breaks so far this evening.
There's been a lot of bodies on the floor.
Silas Schneider, what have you made of his first game in the Cells NBL? 9 points, 3 of 12 shooting, 1 of 4 from deep, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 turnovers.
If I'm being honest, maybe just a little bit timid. He's had chances to get to the paint. He missed a few early. He's in a new team. His first game out there. Hasn't seen as many go through as he'd like. He's going to be an amazing part of this team as the season goes on, but just leaving a few short out there.
Here's Harris, gets it up. Looking for Bailey. Rob Lowe gets it back. Schneider nearly off the glass to end the third quarter. It was a quarter owned by the Hawks. They went in at halftime down by 5. They exit the third quarter up by 4. Big battle coming up in the final quarter of this one tonight. Don't go away. This one set to be a thriller in the Cells NBL. Back after this. Welcome back to Eventfinda on the North Shore of Auckland. And boy, oh boy, have we got a battle for you tonight in the Cells NBL, proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. The Hawks now up by 4 after trailing by 5 at the half. Brooke Rusco, I've got a feeling we are in for an absolute cliffhanger of a finish here tonight. It has all the makings, doesn't it?
Hey, I need you to call it right now, Justin. Who have you got? So far, you've been pretty good on the season.
I'm going to stick with the Tuatara, but geez, it wouldn't surprise me if the Hawks can get it. Is that classic feet sitting or what?
Politician.
I don't know which way this is going to go, but the home team have come out with the first basket to bring it back to 2. Here's Hunt for 3. Misses the ring. I'll tell you what I think may happen tonight, because I think we're due as we start the 4th round of the season. I reckon it might be a one-shot game.
Here we go. Now you're talking my language.
Just don't know which way. If the ball's in Hiram Harris's hands, little gimme underneath for Quinton Bailey. He's missed a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, a few gimmies that he needs to make, especially with such a close game in the 4th quarter. Those gimmies, they're a must.
Here's Russo Nance. Barrow out there at the moment as Chris Johnson takes a break. Rob Lowe for 3. That one can't finish. I'll tell you what I do know. One-shot game. If it's with the Hawks, Jordan Hunt, great finish, great pass.
Hiram Harris.
By Hiram Harris, yep. If it is the Hawks down the stretch, the ball's in Hiram's hands. If it's the Tuatara, it's definitely in Chris Johnson's hands. Agree, disagree?
No, that's spot on right there. Just looking at this Hawke's Bay defense, they're packing in a lot, almost daring them to shoot threes, because the 3-point percentage for the Tuatara at the moment is sitting just over 20%.
Harris active at both ends. That was a big rebound a moment ago. They lead by 4. Rakawa pulls up for 3. That one won't go. Russo Nance. Can he get this home crowd going tonight? Out to Barrow. Little bit of a floater from the short corner. We mentioned earlier that he's played some good minutes tonight, Nick Barrow.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter. That's why he gets paid right there. He sets screens, and he gets to the dead low, and he will make 9 out of 10 of those.
8 points in the game now for Nick Barrow tonight. Very handy. Surprise, surprise. The mops are out on the floor once again. Here's the finish. Nice little pass from Russo Nance.
Great pass, great finish.
It's back to 2 points.
Might be right. Might be down to the wire.
Rusbach. Great little give inside to Jordan Hunt. Well done, Hawks. The skipper with the dime. And Jordan Hunt.
Just came off that screen, was aggressive, made the right play. No weak side help there. Easy dish off and finish.
11.6 rebounds for the Hawks, number 15. 4 offensive rebounds tonight. And that's telling, because he's been up against some big bodies.
There's some timber out there.
Johnson back into the game now, showing his ball skills. Lead at 5. Not a good pass from Russo Nance. Rusbach back the other way. Assist coming from Harris.
And just some uncharacteristic turnovers right now. But also, this is huge for the Tuatara. Early in the year,
They've turned it over.
another turnover. Schneider tried to foul there. But it's a good challenge for them. It's a good test at the start of the season. You know, you're 4-0. Now you're down 7 with 7 minutes to go.
Shot clock at 8. Great pass again. Hiram Harris feeding Jordan Hunt. Harris has 3 assists to start this 3rd quarter. Fourth quarter.
Just flying though.
Yeah, he might be on triple-double watch. We'll check that out in a moment. Schneider, they need a big 3 here. Off they go again, the Hawks. Kenny, Rakawa. Great work through the paint over Johnson. What a basket by Derone. Have a look at him. He is pumped.
And that is a tough finish. Off the left. Hesitation dribble. Escape dribble, found it back. Same hand, same foot. He made that look easy. Or as easy as that could be. That is a tough shot and great finish.
6'10",
Athletic.
plus an outstretched arm. That's what he just went over.
I'll say he has a longer wingspan than 6'10" as well. He's out there, and one thing that he does do is rally the troops. He just pulled them all aside just as they broke out of their timeout. Said, this is where we need to be, this is what we're going to do. And those, what look like little things, are actually massive. So the leadership to have Jared Kenny back out there, huge.
Well, they're back out to an 11-point lead. They've made another run, the Hawks. Will it be enough this time? Johnson gets it from low. Turnaround jumper, usually very good, gets the roll.
And someone who's been in foul trouble all game, but has been a huge loss to the Tuatara. We see him back out there now. It's like Ferguson.
Yeah.
So see what he can do. As they jump into a zone here to try things up. There's one man you can't leave open.
Rusbatch goes long, another rebound for Johnson. Off quickly to Farronson. Russo Nance inside. Rob Lowe is held by the hand. He's not happy. Probably a good foul in the end from Hiram Harris. Let's have a look at it. Here we go. That's that Johnson shot.
And just a soft touch.
And it is going to be an unsportsmanlike foul. So Rob Lowe had a pretty good point to make.
I'd like to see that one again.
Yeah, we had a bad angle of it here. Hiram Harris has reluctantly worn it. Lowe will go to the Resine. First one is off. Of course, they'll get possession back out of this.
Doesn't miss many like that.
Second one has missed. So, at a time when the Tuatara need everything rolling their way, the Hawks have come out in the last firing just as they did in the third. Uncharacteristic. Maybe here. No, the pass is off. Low to Farronson. And the Hawks can really make him pay if they can go back the other way here, Brooke, and hit a basket.
And they're just trying to play with the pace at the moment too. I just saw how quickly they tried to get the ball out of bounds as we see the Tuatara come back into this 1-2-2 zone, and they pick it apart just like that.
Jordan Hunt, another basket.
And if they do fall back into zone as they seem to break out here.
Lowe can't finish. I'll tell you what, the Hawks bench at the moment are up and about. They sniff a victory here, and that's too easy. Rakawa to Rusbatch. The Hawks are flying high.
And rightfully so. The bench should be up.
Out by 13. Russo Nance can't get the roll. Lowe should finish, does finish.
Look how quick they get this out. Get it out. Back into transition. Nothing there, set it up. You can hear Jared yelling at them, set this up.
And there's some experience on the floor right now for the Hawks. Hunt, Harris, Rakawa, Kenny, Rusbatch. Hunt in and out. Schneider with the rebound. They've got to get moving here, the home team. They've got to up the ante. They trail by 11. Johnson has had a big game. His team needs him right now. Steps back and puts it in. Right on cue, Chris Johnson.
And it's just effortless. And Jordan Hunt, there's not much you can do about it. He's 6'10", he shoots the ball from a high position. You just got to make it as hard as you can. Do your work early. Don't let him catch it in the paint. Because once he catches it down there,
21 in the game for CJ, called for the foul, and that very reliable free throw shooter for the Hawks. There's that Johnson basket.
See, and once he gets it that low, there's not much you can do about it. What Jordan can do, though, Jordan Hunt can do, is force him out a little bit further. So you have to do your work earlier, but first force him out a little bit further from the paint and let him square up and use your help.
Jordan Hunt at the line, and I reckon he's about to be subbed out if he makes the second. Quentin Bailey waiting to come in. I'm no coach, but geez, Jordan Hunt's last quarter's been pretty impressive.
Could be onto something here.
He is coming out of the game, so nails both from the line. He's been terrific in this last quarter. Maybe just a very quick break.
It's an interesting one because they've subbed off Ethan Rusbatch as well.
11-point margin, 17-10 last quarter to the Hawks. All the running right now. Here's Lowe bringing the ball up. Schneider, they need something from their import guard right now. Russo Nance finds a way through traffic. He can't finish. It feels like they've just missed so many of those little looks, Brooke.
Yeah, a lot of gimmies when they get into the paint. You just have to finish those. Dante will finish a lot of those most of the time. Rob's missed a few down there as well. Schneider, I would imagine as the season goes on, he'll finish those too, but it seems like one of those games. And at the other end, these guys have done a great job getting to the rim.
Tuatara shooting at 35%. Here's Harris. Hard work on Johnson. Gets him off the floor. Chris Johnson slaps it away with force. Schneider loses at midcourt. Lowe comes up with it. He hits the deck. Now Farrenson for three. Whistle's gone. Players sliding all over the place.
As you see Hiram come over.
Here's the block. This game has had plenty going on. The officials have been in the thick of it. Jared Kenny now asking questions. And out of all of that,
yeah, what's happening?
Well, it's going to be a Tuatara ball off the baseline.
Sometimes it's hard to adjust as a player just to give the Jordan Hunt's making his way back on, but just from a player's point of view, if you remember back into that first quarter, there was 16 fouls scored. There was a lot of ticky-tacky fouls scored. As this game's gone on, they've let the boys play a lot more, and it's just trying to find that balance of, it's almost quarter by quarter, but in this quarter, what are we allowed to do?
I'm telling you now, there's a chance that the Auckland Tuatara will file for bankruptcy next week, because if they've got to pay the Moppets overtime for tonight,
they've put some work in.
They're in some financial pressure.
I'll tell you who's happy though, the laundry cleaner's happy about tonight.
Man, it's been one of those nights, hasn't it?
I've never seen so many towels.
It's incredible. There's Mick Downer showing a little bit of frustration, but geez, got to be happy with the second half.
Oh, just right in the refs, and absolutely he has to be happy with. Especially how Hiram Harris has gone and been the spark in this third and fourth quarter. But I imagine if he can kickstart this fourth game on the road with a win, he'll be a happy coach tonight.
Tuatara are the #1 offensive team in the Cells NBL. They go at 92 points a game.
Yep.
One thing for certain, Brooke, they're not going at 92 points tonight.
It's just been a lid on the rim. Like we've talked about a little bit earlier, seem a little bit tentative. Some of those shots that were falling, in the first 4 games, and even in that first half, to an extent, really just dried up, and the Hawks have done a good job of capitalizing in every way, and I think they've done a tremendous job at boxing out tonight. Undersized, you may not see it on the stat sheet, but some of these smaller boys have done a great job.
The amount of airtime the Moppets have had tonight, they're going to be signing autographs at school come tomorrow, those young boys and girls. Schneider draws the foul. And maybe just last roll of the dice here.
Hey, they got to throw it. Stay aggressive. You're going to need the bonus to come around a little bit earlier for you as well, so put pressure on the refs. Because if you can manage to get to the free throw line, it stops the clock.
This is game 19 of the Cell's NBL season, and if it pans out the way that it's headed right now, Brooke, when was the last time by the 19th game in the season we had every team with a loss?
Well, the Saints went and had 2 seasons where they didn't lose any games.
Any.
So there's 2 seasons out of the way.
Rakawa, weaving magic as he always does.
Ethan Rusbatch still on the bench as well.
Well, maybe the game's won from here. Tuatara must score this time up the floor. Hasn't been a great night. Russo Nance can't finish. They'll get it back. But how many of those opportunities have we seen go begging in this second half in particular?
Hey, it's sometimes you have those games. Not every game is going to be the goal game that Coach Aaron Young wants. But a lot of the times, you learn a lot more from your losses than you do from your wins. So if it does somehow just become collateral damage, you can pick back up. It's not always the worst thing.
Schneider 12 in the game. Hiram Harris flicks it outside. Jordan Hunt has been super impressive after half time.
This man right here has almost single-handedly won this game for the Hawks.
I was going to say, talk about super impressive. It's going to be a charge, though, against Hiram Harris.
And yes, that was a charge, but also what happened before that was Hiram did a great job of coming down, found the open man, he missed the shot, got the rebound as the timeout is called.
There's the charge.
And there is the charge, but he also, what a lot of people won't have just seen then, is he managed to eat out another 14 seconds on the...
I like this timeout by Mick Downer because the Tuatara are about to get the ball back. It's an 8-point game, 2:20 to play. Time sits with the Hawks here. Time is a friend of the Hawks here. They've got to play well defensively here to get the ball back. But the message, settle, keep it simple, do our thing, use the clock, get it through hands.
Stay aggressive. The big thing right here is, as we've talked about a few times during the game as well, is the Tuatara are so big. You got the tall timber of Chris Johnson and Rob Lowe. Tucky Farrington is athletic. They're going to stay and they're going to crash those boards. One chance and one chance only. Give them second, third, fourth positions. That's when you allow Auckland to potentially come back into this game. But if you can lock it down, play good defense, close it out with a rebound, and then do what you do best. Don't go into your shell just yet. Push the ball. If you have an easy bucket, go and get it. If you don't, bring the ball out, run your offense, try and get a good shot, set up your defense again.
You know what the Hawks can't do? They can't give away a cheap foul here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Ethan Rusbatch finds his way back on, and Mick Downer might have called the timeout just to get all of the troops that he wants to close out this game back in the game. And we talked about him at the start of this game. His 19th season, Jared Kenny is closing this game out.
Yeah, I like this lineup for the Hawks here. Let's see if the Tuatara can respond. They trail by 8. A basket here would make things very interesting over the last couple of minutes. Here's McIntosh. Johnson in the post with Hunt. Johnson up and in as Chris Johnson does.
That is a tough shot.
Back to 6. Now they need a stop. Can the Hawks respond? Hiram Harris, I like this. Ball in his hands. He's got to go over Johnson. He doesn't. He can't finish. And they come up with it. Crowd all of a sudden just on the edge of their seats.
And Hawke's Bay can't just watch Hiram go to work. Everyone else is very stagnant on that.
Oh, look out. This would be massive. Chris Johnson.
He's good, this guy. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
3-point margin. They're back in it. The Hawks. Now it's on them. Now they've got to find a way to respond. Rakawa over the big bodies of Lowe and Johnson. Away they come. Farrington Schneider brings it out.
You have to go to Chris Johnson here. He's got your last 5.
Here we go. CJ, Rusbach in front of him. He's got the mismatch. Gets it outside. Farronson steps back on the 3. No, can't make it. Lowe keeps it alive. Johnson will fire away and makes it! Look at that man go!
And he's staring the bench down. He's talking to someone.
Chris Johnson with back-to-back triples ties it up. Sal's NBL action does not get any better than this.
Hey, and we said, if you're in Auckland, you need to make your way down and watch these boys play. I'll tell you what was huge just there. That rebound right there from Rob Lowe.
The tall timber, the Twin Towers, come up with a big play right when it was needed. And just like that, 11 down, 8 down, 6 down, 3 down. Game tied with 41.8 seconds to play.
And it all started with that tough hook shot that Chris Johnson had about a minute ago. He had the hook shot, went down and got the stop. Good defense on Hiram Harris, came back down, hit a 3, hit another 3. He's up to 29 points, just like that in the blink of an eye. And you were right.
Man.
It's going to come down to the wire, 73 all. Watch out for Hiram Harris here. He has been amazing all games.
If this isn't the best Wednesday night action you've had, sitting on your couch watching this.
You must have been having some good Wednesday nights.
73 apiece. Hawks with possession. I don't even want to call it. I don't even want to call it either way from here. This could go either way. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Sky Sport has you covered. Every game live in the Sal's NBL, and we're going to rip it down the stretch tonight.
And watch for a quick shot here from Hawke's Bay, 2-for-1 option.
McIntosh right there with Rakawa. Goes over the top of the screen. Harris on the reverse. Actually hit the bottom of the iron, but it's come off the leg of Chris Johnson. They get it back.
What a matchup that is. Hiram Harris with Chris Johnson.
And they're looking at the time here, 24.2.
7 on the shot clock.
Rakawa maybe playing some mind games here. Brings it in now. Hunt hands it off. Rakawa with some space. Gets it to Rusbach. The skipper off balance. Fouled. Off to the Razine.
And a bailout if you're the Tuatara. You cannot have that. Last second of the shot clock. You've played good defense up until this point. You lose your man.
Silas Schneider with the foul. And this is where you want your skipper right now. Makes the first.
Doesn't look nervous, does he?
Does not look nervous at all.
And this is what I like about his free throw. His technique you rarely see. Catches the ball, doesn't dribble. He doesn't overthink. Get the ball, go through your mechanics, make it 2.
Makes both. Hawks by 2. 17.3 to play. And you just know who the ball's going to here. You know what I'd like to see? I mean, the Hawks can't give away a foul. I reckon that high-low action between Johnson and Lowe, one of them's got to go inside here.
But if I'm a betting man, my money's going with Chris Johnson is taking this last shot.
Inside or outside? You go for the win?
Chris Johnson goes for the win. I don't know if Aaron Young goes for the win. Chris Johnson goes for the win. But this is also the time, at the start of the game, we talked about they do have shooters and capable shooters on this Tuatara team. Literally every person that they're about to put on the floor is a capable three-point shooter. Tucker Farronson, he's out there to shoot. Chris McIntosh, he is out there to shoot. We've talked about Silas Schneider throughout the college career that he has. He knows how to put the ball in the basket. And Rob Lowe, even though he is 6'10", he is one of the best shooters that New Zealand has. So they are very capable of hitting it from the 3. They need some movement. They need to get the ball to Chris in some way, shape or form. Allow him to go to work, but you can't just watch.
Chris Johnson, 29 and 10, 4 blocks. Those two, that back-to-back triples that he hit, those 2 triples, he was 0 of 4 from downtown before those 2 shots.
Oh, confidence is one thing that he does not lack.
There he is, the star of the show tonight for the Tuatara. Chris Johnson, will he be the man they go to here? 17 seconds to play. First and foremost, they need to look after the ball. They're down by 2.
Yeah, 16 turnovers in this game already. The matchup between Hiram and Chris Johnson has been amazing, and they're marking each other on this final play.
Here's Barronson, here's Johnson. Hands it off, McIntosh. 6 seconds, shot clock at 2. McIntosh steps to the basket, he's fouled! Foul is called. Foul is called. Confusion. The Hawks want to travel. Foul is called. McIntosh will go to the line for 2. So
big call.
the Hawks they're fuming at the moment. There's Chris Johnson. The clock has expired here. Any time left on the clock?
It looked like to me there might be about 2 seconds left.
So we've got a conversation taking place on the sidelines here. I think there should be time left on the clock. And there will be 3.3 to go on the clock. All right, let's start talking about Chris McIntosh from the Resine here. You've seen plenty of it at training.
I have.
Hasn't been there so far tonight. Has not been to the line.
And I don't want to jinx him because I know this is such a thing. But I would say he's extremely reliable from the free throw line. And all of this right here, Jared Kenny is smart. All of this right here is all a show. It's all to let Chris have a little bit more time at the line.
Just sweat it out. Don't sweat too much though, because if we bring out those moppets one more time,
they need a pay rise.
There he is, Chris McIntosh, and you can see he's thinking about it right now.
And Jared Kenny has done a great job there. Buy more time. He's experienced, that's why he's out there.
So a couple of things to look for here. First of all, McIntosh at the line.
Yep.
Hawks, I think, still have a timeout left, so you'll get a timeout straight out of this if he makes both. But if he does miss the second, Rob Lowe 6'10", Chris Johnson 6'10", 2 of the best rebounders in the league. Hiram Harris is right there with him.
Yep.
Here we go. Chris McIntosh, the first, is a miss.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to miss the second here. He has to miss the second.
And sometimes it's harder than it looks.
He's
You're
got
right,
to miss
though.
it.
You're
Has to miss
absolutely
it.
right.
They need a rebound and put back. Makes it. They're down by 1. Can they get a steal with 3.3 to go? They foul straight away. Had to do that. 1.9 left on the clock.
And you got to be careful with that foul. It was above the shoulders. Late in the game, I know what he's trying to do, but you have to be extremely careful with that.
So just take me back to McIntosh at the line. Am I calling it the right? Should he have missed that second shot?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he tried to miss it as well. But that's what I was saying. Sometimes it's actually harder than it looks. It should be easier to miss that, but you get to the line, there's the noise is going on. You miss the first, you overthink it.
One more foul to give. That'll be enough though. Jared Kenny. What a man to have the ball in the hand of at the end of this one. And they win it by 1.
And well done. What a game. You were right. Came down to the very end.
Man.
Great call.
What a game tonight. We're going to get out of here. MVP tonight, Hiram Harris.
Without a doubt. He took control of that game. He took onus in that game in the second half. He proved why he is becoming a staple with the Tall Blacks, and he's been great.
75-74 win to the Hawks. Let's have a look at the live ladder. Big win for the Hawks tonight. Well, that'll change because the Tuatara have actually gone down. The Hawks will move to 3-2 on the win tonight. What a win by the Hawks.
Gutsy performance.
Let's have a look at what's coming up. Bulls and Nuggets on Friday night. Giants and Rams, the early game Saturday. Airs and Sharks Saturday night. And then, of course, on Sunday, it's the Saints and the Rams, the Jets and the Nuggets. Hey, hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a massive game tonight. A 1-point margin. The Hawks on the road have got it. What an absolute thriller. Edge of your seat stuff. Brooke Rusco, what a pleasure that was.
Oh, and you called it. Credit to you. If you're a betting man, listen to Justin Nelson. He knows what he is talking about. Mick Downer will be extremely happy, though, with that performance. Gutsy performance. It was a tough first half for both sides, but the performance that they put through in their second half, team performance, but obviously Hiram Harris was a shining light in their second half. But, you know, everyone else kind of did their role. Jerome came in, made big shots.
Yep.
Ethan stayed aggressive.
Got to get out of
Great
here.
job.
Sky Sport has you covered in the Sal's NBL 2022 season. Hope you've enjoyed it. On behalf of the entire team, bye-bye for now.